Hello, hello, hello. This is the Poetic Perfectionist. I am your host, Sophia.
And I'm your other host, Abigail, but you can call me Abby for short.
Oh, how are you?
Well, changing up how we greet each other, are we?
Pretty much.
Well, today was very, very, very busy. I did a you, okay? I mean the version of you way back when. What am I talking about? You still the same person. 5 a.m. in the morning, waking up before the sun has even rise.
Did you feel like you accomplished the world?
I did get a lot done. I'm not gonna lie.
Was your day complete by noon?
It was like by noon, 1 o'clock, the latest. I was already done with the majority of the stuff on my list.
You're
I was
welcome.
like, dang, so this is what it's like. Wow.
And then you see all the riffraffs running around, still doing their errands, if they're doing them at all.
By the time 2 o'clock hit, I was like, ooh, there's nothing out there for me. Everybody and their moms are already up.
Mm-hmm.
They're around. There's traffic. Get it.
I told you put in that work in the morning. The afternoon is yours.
It's true. It was so nice. Like, I woke up early. I was there before most businesses was even open.
Oh, girl.
I was able to make all my necessary phone calls, donate a bunch of things, Salvation Army, because, it's summertime. We're going to be buying a whole new wardrobe and things. So I got to purge to make room for the new lovelies that's going to be taking its place.
When I get home, I have to, load up the car and, throw in some of the clothes that I've been able to go through. And, girl, let me tell you, I got a lot of tank tops that have no business being on my body.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe how small-chested I was then compared to now.
I don't know if you could call it small-chested. There was never a time.
Well, compared to now.
Okay, compared to now, of course. Because I was going to say, us in the itty-bitty committee.
She's like, they still look big to me.
Committee.
The itty-bitty committee.
Okay, we out here dealing with apples and oranges. Maybe a tiny melon here and there. Mm-hmm. And you out here like watermelons, cantaloupes.
I blame my father's side of the family.
Honeydews.
That's not the same. That's where all the big boobs came from. It's on my dad's side of the family. He didn't give me height. Because I'm a wee bit's a little thing. But I got boobs.
It's funny you said that. It's the same on my dad's side. They got the big boobs. On my mom's side, they got the big butts. Well, both sides got the big butts, especially the women, but definitely big boobs on my dad's side, for sure.
Yeah. It was something. It was something. But I'm glad that you were able to get a lot of your stuff done.
I know. I feel so great. I mean, I still have 3 or so things to get done, but I'm glad I was able to power through a majority of these items just to be done with it, because I don't want to have to deal with it tomorrow. Tomorrow is my half day, the weekend, the long weekend begins.
Right, you do half days.
Yep, half days on a Friday, so I'm out by 1. I mean, I have to wake up a little earlier just to get my 5 hours in.
Yeah.
Start at 8 instead of 9, but that's okay.
She's like, I ain't worried.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
ain't worried.
I get my hours. I'm out by 1. The world is still my oyster. And I got some hosting to do later, so I gotta prep a lot of things.
Hosting family?
Yep, hosting family.
Ooh.
And, others that's not family, but
You're gonna be tired.
Yeah.
You're gonna be exhausted.
It happens. But the thing is, I like hosting, so I don't find it so much of a chore.
Yes, you do.
So
you host your life away.
So it'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
I would hope
myself that.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
It's a lot of running around you're gonna be doing.
It'll be just fine.
But you will be an eau naturel, my friend. An eau naturel.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike me, I'm gonna find the nearest beach and lay in it.
Is that your weekend thing? Weekend plans?
Pretty much. I was supposed to go to a kind of a memorial service. A close friend of mine, their relative had passed away, but that was postponed.
Okay.
So now, and it's a long weekend. So now that day is kind of freed up. So I'll probably do light things. If it's really, really nice,
yep,
I'm gonna be at the beach. I mean, the invitation has been extended to friends, and if they're available, cool. But I'm going with you. I'm going with or without you. Is what I'm telling them.
I don't blame you. I mean, if you're trying to get across that list of having 6 beaches for the summer, you gotta get started. Right? Next week is, I think, officially summer.
It used to feel like it.
So gotta pep in that step.
better treat me right. I is a classy woman. Treat me as such.
My only thing is, the last time I checked, the weekend was looking shit. Like,
Okay,
rain every day.
why do you have so much hate in your heart for me?
I don't have hate in my heart. I'm just telling you what the newscaster people said.
They be lying. They be lying. We don't talk to them.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's a one job you can mess up real bad and still have a job.
Tomorrow.
See, I told you.
Tomorrow's the only really good day.
And not to mention the monsoon situation that was saying they're going on yesterday. I saw lightning strike 3 times. One of the time, it was so damn close. I was like, there was no way that was like 50 miles. Because, they say you're supposed to count when you see the lightning. You're supposed to count, like Mississippi's, to know how many miles is away. Yeah. Every Mississippi, I think, is supposed to be like 10 miles or something.
Oh.
And then when it strikes again while you're counting, whatever number you're on is how far it's supposed to be away. Who knows if it's true or not, but all I know is that was way too close for comfort. Thank you.
Because I think you had called me. I got caught in it, but I was already at Target. So I was just like, I was about to leave when you said it. So I was like, well, I'll just stroll in the makeup aisle for the next hour and a half, and I should be good. And sure enough, bought myself an umbrella, walked out. This ain't bad. Made it home, monsoon again. I was like, well.
The earth is open up. And the crazy thing is, we left, I think we had gone to the store or something like that. I forget where we went. We went somewhere. And we were making our way back home. As we were at the light, the earth just opened up and said, Gaye, man.
The earth said, filthy, filthy.
It was just like the power wash just got put on max.
Y'all are nasty.
It was just like, I was like, this is insane. This is insane. Like, some streets was already starting to flood a little bit. I got scared because the street that was like from over there, like by the National Grid.
Oh, I feel like that area does get a lot of flooding.
Those water already started going up. I got nervous because I was like, okay, these SUVs and these trucks are going through just fine. But I couldn't see because visibility was so bad. Yeah. I couldn't tell how much water was there. I was like, I'm not trying to stall.
The SUVs are fine. But you, not with your car, absolutely not.
I'm not trying to be the one to be like, oh, I think I can.
If you got to say, I think, no, you can't go around.
So sorry.
Take the scenic route home.
Apparently.
20 miles an hour max.
No options given.
She said no options given.
It's true. It's true. Because those SUVs and all the things, it's like, you see visibility shit. Why are you barreling down the street like nothing happened?
Well, that just goes to show you quality over quantity. Well, I always tell you. Get you a good vehicle. It'll get you far. Get you a okay vehicle. And you better hope and pray it don't rain. Well, anything else you're gonna do?
Hanging out with my friend, and then my sibling. We have our yearly or at this point. So first it was kind of like a yearly situation. We were slowly starting up, which is once a year we take a New York trip.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be doing that again on Saturday. So we're gonna be going down to New York all day.
Ooh. What borough?
I have no idea. I think we're gonna be in the city. Because we're gonna try to go. We're gonna try to. No, we're trying to go to Madison Square and what's the other one? The Garden.
Madison Square Garden and
what's the park? The giant park.
Central Park.
Central Park. Yes.
Yeah.
We're trying to go there, and then there's this famous sandwich shop.
I think that's technically Manhattan.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh. I never know because it's so big, and there's always like a line thing, and I never know where the line is.
New York is one of those. First of all, New York is just that place where if you're talking about in the city, it's like New York City. So then you have Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, and Staten Island. So those are the boroughs that kind of make up the city. And then if you're talking about outside of New York, but in New York, it's like upstate New York. Like it's everywhere else. I'm like, okay, can't you just call it? Listen, I don't tell these people what to do with their state. I'm just trying to get in, get out. I was already there for family. I went to Brooklyn. That was enough for me. Trying to get out. Oh, that's another thing. Trying to get out of Brooklyn was a different story. I was like, what the?
Yeah, it's once you get into like the deep neighborhoods part, and not so much as like the industrial or the businesses section, it gets very confusing. And it also doesn't help that they're like First Street, 23rd Street, 2nd Street, and I'm like, well,
I guess at the time when I went, they were going through like I guess they were working on one of their bridges. It's like so there was a bunch of detours. So I'm like, it was confusing my Google Maps. I was riding it with my dad, so he was passenger driver, and he was getting annoyed. I was annoyed, and like the infotainment in his car was acting up. I was just like, you know what? Get me the hell up out of here.
I'm awesome.
I had to like detour, take a long route on a different bridge. By the way, that's another thing. New York's got way too many bridges.
That is facts.
I felt like I kept getting on and off a different bridge every other stop.
Yep.
I was like, I'm gonna need you to stop.
It's like the bridges is their equivalent of our Massachusetts rotaries or roundabouts or whatever you want to call them.
I think I'd rather put up with the rotaries than that because I hate bridges. It gives me so much anxiety. I hate bridges, and whenever I drive over them, I'm like hightailing it, like, but I can't because it's like back to back, bumper to bumper traffic.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck on the bridge, and I'm like,
see, this is why you shouldn't watch Final Destination. Okay.
My thing is like I always had this nightmare where I would drive over the bridge and then it would just open up, or it would collapse with me on it.
Yeah. So Final Destination.
It was just like, so we're not gonna. If I could avoid a bridge altogether, I will.
Yeah.
We don't need to be there in 20 minutes. We can take this nice hour scenic route.
And it's funny you say that in regards to collapse. Did you not hear not that long ago the I-95 in Louisiana or something? Not Louisiana, was it? Maybe it was Louisiana. I forget. Some state collapsed. Apparently there was like a truck fire, and then the bridge collapsed. Like I think it was 1 dead and 2 injured or something.
What you're saying is that I shouldn't visit that state.
I have no idea.
Because that's not how you get me to. So you heard about this bridge that collapsed?
No, I didn't. I mean, it was one of those. Speaking of
chill. Well, I'm not surprised the infrastructure these days is not as it's not priority on the government's list of things to do. There's always a bridge that's falling, condo buildings falling.
My thing is like when you having a whole shutdown, damn near nationwide.
That was the one time that road work should have been done.
It should have been done.
Because I know over here, I
they were
like
essential workers. So what were the
essential
workers doing? Because we were still paying taxes. We weren't driving on them roads like that, unless if you were essential worker.
Yeah.
That's the only time you were leaving. So I don't understand. I went from seeing so many constructions being done on all the streets. By the time the shutdown ended, they were gone.
To be honest with you, that would have been the perfect time, especially when you feel like they're taking a leisure time getting things done. Oh, that would have been perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all would have taken your time. Ain't nobody on the road.
Nope.
Day, night, nobody.
It was the best. You could hear a pin drop. It was like a post-apocalyptic situation. I felt like it was me in the world alone. I was like, finally.
Until you get to your destination, the store is closed.
Listen, I did not understand, like, Scar from The Lion King.
Yeah.
As much as I did, like, dealing with traffic.
It took the pandemic for you to understand Scar.
Yeah, because it was like, there was that scene where Scar was looking at the hyenas and he's like, "Oh, I'm surrounded by idiots."
Not the hyenas.
And I'm like, you know what? Scar, you was onto something.
Oh, no.
You was onto something because these people out here are wild. As soon as, like, these drivers that had no business being on the road, they were leisurely driving around as if gas prices was not damn near $4 or $5 prior.
Still is.
But the best part it was like the gas prices were low.
Oh yeah,
it was so low. It was the best. But the thing is, because people who couldn't think outside the boxes were just used to their regular, oh, I'm just going to go to these 3 places and that's all I go. We're like panicking, like, oh, gas prices are low, but where do I go? I got nowhere to go. Meanwhile, the rest of the people, that were out here, like, how can I make this $10, $20 stretch without going above and beyond? It's like, we going to CVS.
I did more pickup orders. So literally, I would just place the orders at different locations that would allow me to, and I would drive to pick them up and then drive on my way back, fill up gas. I don't care if I had like 3/4 of a tank full. Full.
Mm-hmm.
Tap, tap, tap.
Mm-hmm. It was one time it was like full was a regular.
Yeah.
You was out here balling it like Daddy Warbucks. Like, fill that tank.
Now it's ridiculous.
That $15 to give me that full tank on a quarter tank.
I drove by here. I think gas right now regular is like $3.45 a gallon.
I'm sick to my stomach seeing these prices.
Yep. So I can only imagine what Boston looks like.
My thing is, I never
in Boston, New York.
I never thought we would get to the age where it's like we end up talking like our parents. Like, wow, remember when them gas prices was blah blah blah?
Happens to all of us.
Yeah, or where they're like, oh, these kids in this generation,
they don't understand how good they had it.
And then the thing is, it's like, it's scary because it's like when you catch yourself saying it, to you like, oh my goodness, did I really just say that? Like, you're looking around in the room like there was somebody there with you.
Or when somebody says something shocking or something like that catches you off guard, I'd be looking at, Simon? And my parents, I think I did that around my mom or my dad, one of them. And they just looked at me and was like, since when did you start using our phrases? Like, you don't hear that? Back in my day. And my dad was like, slow down. Slow down, buttercup. Your day was last week.
Yeah. He's like, you got another 30 plus years to go before you start using a loose term.
You can't be up here on this boat, friend. Simmer down, young one.
He's like, no.
I was like, I just don't understand.
Never.
Why is this light bill so high? He's like, you can
no
light bill.
No more though. The light bill was unnecessary. It always be high. Why is it so high? Because it got you out here checking this bill. Sometimes I'm out here looking at these numbers and I was like, clearly it's not me. It must be the tenants downstairs.
I got my bill the other day. It's like close to $400.
Oh!
I was like, who are we lighting? A nation? Who? I turned every light. All right, y'all need to turn these lights off.
Listen, United.
Turn it off.
I don't know.
I don't know where you got this money from, but I don't got National Grill money right now. Yeah. All right, turn it off.
Seriously.
It's like $400. The nerve of you to the audacity.
I will say though, that is one thing I'm grateful for. Like, my sisters, who are also my roommates, are like, yeah, they don't be playing that. The lights in their room, we move it close. Like, as you go and close, you can still be in the room. They're like, you're close. I'm like, hey, I'm still in here. Oh, my bad. Better make sure you close that before you head out.
My dad was making a sandwich. I turned the light off. And he was like, oh, how am I supposed to make the sandwich? I gave him a flashlight.
Oh, not a flashlight.
You can use the flashlight. All right?
The level of disrespect.
Just got the bill, sir. I don't want to hear it.
Not the flashlight. How is he supposed to hold the flashlight and make a sandwich?
He'll be all right. He's lived on this earth long enough. He can figure it out. He walked from Timbuktu up the hill, through the graveyard. However he tells the story, he can multitask. He can hold the flashlight and make a sandwich. He'll be all right.
That sounds like a lot. You just out here just gave up.
He don't got. Oh, you got the money to come for him?
Nah, chill.
That's what I thought.
Chill. Our bill is hefty enough. Thank you. Our bill is hefty enough.
She's like, I don't want to be over there in Bougie Land. No, thank you.
No.
Speaking of which, have you been? I've noticed the thing, or I've noticed this trend going on lately, where it's just like everybody's really channeling into their bougie aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
This soft life.
Yep.
This, I'm not trying to struggle. And I'm definitely not trying to look like I struggle type of life.
No, I don't really know. And the thing is, I have been with that wave more and more. Because the thing is, like, when you're younger and you're first getting into, like, the working world and such, everybody tells you, oh, you got to take a couple of these terrible jobs and stick it out for X, Y, and Z. No. I want to improve the quality of my life, okay? I want to make sure that it's not like when I'm older and incapable of moving and doing things, that's when like things are good. No. I want to enjoy it now while I can move, while I can do things, while I can visit places.
While you can shake your tail feather.
That too. Like I want to be able to do them now. Like this is the stuff. I mean, I will say like the now and then, the few changes that's being made,
Mm-hmm.
it's like almost night and day.
What are some of the changes you've done?
I will say, well, some of the changes I will say is for one, which was one of the things that the shutdown kind of like made me realize and see for myself was how much I was like stretching myself thin. Because to some extent, it wasn't so much of like I was having FOMO. It was more of like I would say yes to people for things, and then but by the time I look at it, my schedule was like jam packed, almost every single day and days off. And it got to the point where it was just like, nope. Now I have a policy for myself during the weekends, no more than 2 or 3 things per day, per scheduled event per day during the weekends. Anything else that's extra needs to be pushed to next week, needs to push to another day. It just can't be on that day because, and not only that, no 2 days back to back. Sundays is notoriously usually my days for resting. I try to do nothing on Sundays. The only time I do something on Sundays is if it can't be helped.
I don't know how you can do anything. Like I know for you go to mass early in the morning. So after mass, I would feel like you shouldn't be doing anything.
No.
Hey, first of all, everything closes early.
Yep.
So
everything closes early, which I don't mind. My thing is, it's like it's crazy because these past holidays, stores and businesses and stuff were actually closed.
They're closed on the actual holiday.
I was so shocked because I'm used to like way back when where it's like they would be open. Like you can still get like it would be open like half of the day, so you can still like stop and I forgot this cranberry sauce, or I forgot this thing.
Almost like they were forcing you to come into work or kind of vibe on the actual holiday.
Not anymore. They were like, nope. We're going to close down. That one day that we close down and give these employees like a day off, it saves us way more than if we allow them to work.
Not even some places, depending on what industry you're in, they close early the day before.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, by 1 o'clock we're closed. So you really gotta do it early in the week.
Yep. There's no messing around. And the thing is, it's like I actually like that. Because then it doesn't give you that sense of like, because for some people, if they're like me or have a similar mindset, it doesn't give you that sense of like, oh, well, these places are open, I'm bored, then I should leave my house and go X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Rather than be like, I may be bored, all right, find a way to entertain yourself within these 4, 5, 6 rooms, 4 walls, because everything is closed.
These stores told you can read a book. You can stay home and read a book.
Exactly.
We will not be doing this.
Nope.
Okay, bye-bye. That's it. It's like, okay, all right. I just noticed this trend going on. I feel like it's a trend that's going on a lot these days. These days.
Yeah.
And while I like it, it's also like, I don't want it to go into like that other side of the extreme where it's just like fantasy land.
That's true. But I feel like the focus of it is quantity, not quality.
That is very true.
What would you say, like, have you been doing to cater more of the quantity aspect and to the quality, not quantity aspect?
I will say part of it was the purge of getting rid of some stuff that I've been holding on to for like way too long. So it's like the clothes, the quality of clothes. Just listen, if I haven't used it within this year, it's gotta go. You could sell it, you could donate it.
Yep.
If it's in good condition, or throw it out. Either way, you can't keep it. And it's just like, it's almost like in every aspect, it's like a good healthy purge. My skin looks better. I've taken really good care of like what I do with my skin, in addition to drinking lots of water. Granted, I'd be going to the bathroom.
I was gonna say, them bathroom breaks will be very frequent.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's. My thing is, I try to avoid to drink that many water because I have to go so much. Because my bladder's already small. It's like I can't win.
For me, I can't, especially since I'm like a consumer. Like I consume things. Like it's almost like an addictive kind of thing. So it's like if I'm going to do something, then it has to be healthy. At least my body will be able to handle it. So water makes sense. First of all, I didn't realize I can go through like almost like a 24 case of water in 1 week.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's a lot of water.
That's all I realized that quickly. I was just like, where the hell's all the water? And I was just like, I drink it all. I drink it all. I was like, first of all, I am parched.
Here I am struggling more. 1 bottle of water, that's like what? 30 liters?
Yours is like 30 liters. That's like what?
That's like one of the standard, probably like one of the.
That's almost 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Because I think the standard is like 16 ounce.
16 ounce, yeah. So it's like two standard size water bottles is what I'm struggling with.
And they tell you to drink 3 cups a day. So it's like.
Clearly, I'm way behind.
Like, how much is in this cup is what I'm asking.
Sometimes I get it halfway.
I got a sip today.
In one day, yeah. See, it also has a lot to do with like how busy I am. Because sometimes it's like I'll get busy or I'll get so focused on something, I forget to eat, let alone drink water.
Oh, that's
so then I'll look up and I'll be like, oh shit, it's already time to basically start unwinding to head out and leave for the day. And I realize I haven't sipped anything, let alone eat anything. And I'm like, and then I'm like doing this rush thing like 2-3 o'clock trying to do my lunch. Since I couldn't have done it earlier between the Zoom meetings, the rando clients that didn't have appointments are showing up and then just.
I will say though, I did notice that I drank a whole lot more water when I had my car. Because I always had that water bottle in the car.
Oh.
So I had my car water bottle. So I always filled it up. So when I was running my errands and stuff, I was like, it was right there, as opposed to me running to like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts for a quick drink. I mean, I would still do that, but not as frequent.
Not frequent, yeah. Because they have curbed it.
Mm-hmm. It was like, I'm already full, or it quenched my thirst, kept my budget low.
The thing is that I find that the new water bottles that have especially the ones with the straw, it definitely makes a huge difference.
Was it the Stanley tumblers? That's like the biggest thing I see. It's like, I see it everywhere. I can't.
People are just walking around like this is okay. I'm like, listen here. Why don't you just pick up a giant jug of water while you're at it and make it sound like this is normal? Put a straw in it.
Right? Like,
this is not normal. Not no way.
Like, leave me alone with my normal size tumbler that fits in the cup holder. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to buy an extender, but
I don't think there's an extender that's gonna fit that Stanley.
I think that particular Stanley, it like the bottom part can fit.
Oh, it does the nail.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like, but then it just looks weird to me. It is very weird. It's an odd thing, but whatever helps you is whatever helps you. Yeah. But I would say I noticed that a lot of the stuff. Or the things that I do matters. Like, I won't go certain places where it's just like, even the energy itself, it's like, I want quality, good, positive energy around me. Because everybody, like, you turn on the news, it's already hectic enough.
Yep.
I don't want that in my everyday bubble. Oh. Like, when I'm very much like, I'm protecting my space and protecting my peace. I'd like to be, even when I go out and be in environments where it like kind of encourages that type of behavior, as opposed to like being in an environment where it's just like everybody is just so aggressive and fighting and I'm like, it's time for you to go home.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that you deal with on a day-to-day basis as it is already, and then to add anything additional to that, it's just too much. It is a lot. It's a lot. Much. And it's true. You need to be mindful too what kind of energy and things that you're letting in. Because at the end of the day, like you don't want to like allow like negative energy to come in because like you said, a lot of the news, a lot of things that you have, it's like you can't control those when they're being played, but what you can control is whether or not you listen to them. Yeah. So it's like making sure that you're curating like your social media, making sure like the information that's coming in is positive, it's uplifting. There's so much that you deal with on a day-to-day that you can't control. I see no reason why not getting a little bit of control of the things that you can. Being mindful of like the things that you're giving access to yourself, your mind, your time to. Because you don't want it to be like anyone and anything just has access to you whenever and wherever they want.
We know how we feel about those that feel like they are entitled to have access to you. No, thank you.
And then when you try to set healthy boundaries,
you're bougie. Like, because I don't want you in my space.
Because you have self-respect and standards.
Because I don't want you in my face. As bougie man.
Listen, I'll take it.
Oh my goodness.
I'll take it gladly. If that means that you can stay your 50 plus feet away from me, I will take it. Okay?
Listen, my mother always told me don't be in other people's faces like that.
You know.
Why you gotta be so close?
And my thing is, it's like if you're someone who truly cares about me, like you say you do, if I'm asking you and I'm, giving you boundaries that I want you to respectfully, adhere to, just like I would treat yourself, it's the same. Just the same as I expect you to respect my boundaries is the same that I expect you to expect the same from me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're my friend and you care about me like you say you care about me, and I care about you say, then of course you want the best for me. If you're saying like doing a certain thing or going to a certain place is not serving you mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever that may be, you just have to respect that. You have to respect that. That doesn't make you a bad friend. That doesn't make you a bad person. Like, it just means that there's just certain things that you can't handle or can't have access to you, unlike other people. They may be okay with it, but maybe it's not okay for you. It's not a one-size-fit-all situation, you know?
It is not. It is never a one-size-fits-all type of situation. I think before I used to be annoyed when people would say that. Oh my gosh, she's so bougie and da-da-da-da. But now I'm just like, yes, if it means it keeps the riffraff away, go. Mm-hmm. Row that boat far, far away.
Yep.
Because I just don't want it.
Nope.
I just don't want it.
Nope.
So I feel like I own the term in a much more positive, conducive way. Even where I go out, even what I drink. If what I drink disrupts your soul, sir and or madam, you can't be a part of my everyday life. You just cannot.
I think my thing is when my shifting moment that made me just sort of accept and actually like take in and not let it bother me anymore when people would call me bougie or extra or whatever is when I realized I was like, okay, these things that I'm doing are to help improve my lifestyle, to help improve my quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
And for somebody else to have an issue with it, now it's like it had me thinking, getting the root of it. Why would you want me still living in misery and suffering? Because you're not a good friend. Because you're not a good person. You don't have good intentions for me. Because those who have good intentions for you will be celebrating and supporting you. Not trying to drag you down to the same problems that you were in before and expecting you to stay there. Just because you're lazy to get yourself out of the situation that you're in and you're making no moves and no anything to change that.
Pass that on to me.
Exactly. That's not my ministry. That is not my ministry.
Not your calling.
Do what is best for you. But don't tell me what to do best for me. Oh, and the thing that got it even worse is when you spend money on something, like you budget it out. Like, nobody sees all the work and all the savings and stuff that you did to spend on something.
Oh, and they would do like, oh, that is so expensive. I would never.
Yep.
Or they're just like complaining about how expensive it is.
Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I can't believe you spent all that money on that. And this is what, right? I had a conversation with myself. This is what myself said that would make me happy in this moment. Doing this was what will make me happy. I did the budgeting. I did what I do. I didn't jeopardize like the things that I needed to pay responsibly for. I didn't jeopardize my bills being paid. It wasn't like I was taking rent money and then spending on this item.
Yeah, you budgeted out.
Exactly. I budgeted out like an adult and did what I was supposed to do. So I don't understand why you're telling me how to spend my money. Were you clocked in? Even Uncle Sam, I'm still annoyed at, and he's giving a large percentage of my check every 2 weeks, and he's never clocked in when I'm doing all this work.
Uncle Sam does not bother you as long as he gets a piece of your check and then he goes away. He's like, all right, I'm gonna see you next time.
Uncle Sam is like a pig.
Uncle Sam, well, a very bad one.
Out here only shows up when the money is being, given. Doesn't protect you, doesn't take care of you, doesn't do anything for you, but is always there with a hand out for his cut.
A hand out for his cut or a hand up to slap.
Mm-hmm. Either way, you getting got.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like it is what it is. It's it's part of the growth. It's part of your glow up.
Mm.
You know, you're in a way you're showing people how to treat you.
Yes.
And they're seeing it live and in action, live and in person.
It is crazy too. It's like once you start making those changes and those improvements to your life, it's crazy to like end up being in a position where you're now watching people just leave your life. People that weren't meant to be in your life for long, just disappearing. They're just falling off. You don't hear from them anymore. They stop texting you. They don't reply. You send them like, your regular, yearly or every couple months text.
Hey, how's it going?
No response. They don't call you back. They don't message you. You hear nothing on social media. It's almost as if like you're there, but it's almost like they've semi-censored you, where it's like you can only see or hear so much.
Yeah.
So it's like if you no longer want to be friends, that's fine. Be a freaking adult about it.
Or just unmatch.
Just take me off as your friend. Unfriend. I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt. Because at the end of the day, listen, the one thing I would say that I was blessed with is because I have so many siblings, I already had a crew of friends that just came with the family.
Do you think some people do that only to be like, oh, I'm a peeping Tom to see how things are going on, just to keep tabs on you?
100%. They don't want to admit to themselves or to you that the reason that they've cut you off or have distanced themselves from you is because you're making these changes or you're doing these things and setting these boundaries that they wish they could do.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's making them feel uncomfortable because it's like, oh, well, I want to do those things, but I don't have the courage to do them. So it's like, to some extent, in some level, it's probably a mixture of like a jealousy thing as well as like, maybe it's like, oh, you know what? This person, their accomplishments, their things that they're doing is making me feel bad. I don't have such a good relationship with myself that it's like, even though this person's not going out of their way to brag or to be rude, to be mean or anything, just seeing these accomplishments that they have done and they have made has mentally caused me pain. So the best thing that I can think of is just no longer interacting with that situation rather than being an adult and being like, you know what? This is not for me. You know what? I know anything to you, but I just think that I'm at a place right now where this relationship is just not what's best for me.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Well, I mean, you do have a very positive outlook on it, and I feel like I do too. And I think it's working.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd like to think it's working. You're not issuing, not wishing any ill will towards anyone. Because once again, we go back to that negative place again. We don't want that.
Because it said I think the saying said something about, I forget what exactly the term was.
Was
it
an American saying? Because you always get your American sayings backwards.
It's always bad. That's why I'm always scared to say them. After that one incident, I was like, no,
you be looking at me and be like, when you point your finger, 7 more points at the sheep. I'm like, what? You mean 3 point back at you?
All I'm saying is like these phrases and these sayings, like they don't make sense. They literally sometimes do not make sense.
They're not supposed to. They're supposed to be like silly in that way, but it's supposed to be like, a lesson moment,
Yeah.
But, it's like when you translate something into English, it doesn't sound as good.
No, not at all.
Just doesn't. It's just like you're giving somebody the literal translation, and it's like, we didn't ask for that.
Yeah, no.
We didn't ask for that.
No. My thing is like, I feel like, so the discomfort of the other person, what I found is that I didn't want to waste any more time like focusing on, oh, well, this person is X, Y, and Z and they disappeared, and then overthinking about what that person is doing, and now I'm missing out on time and hours I could be spending on actually improving myself and helping myself to be better. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and decided to do these things just purely because it's like I'm trying to live whatever this societal idea of like a luxury lifestyle is. No, I literally wanted a better quality of life. I wanted to be able to go to work, you know, do the adulting thing of paying my bills and moving and renting and all this other stuff, you know, that sometimes comes with adulting. Be able to do that and not feel like I'm going into a job or a situation where it's like it's literally sucking the soul out of me.
Ooh.
I have no, like, I went from a point where it was like I literally was leaving work in tears.
Oh no.
Like, it was so bad. Like, I had to pull off to the side of the road just to like bawl my eyes out for a good 10-15 minutes, because it was just like the pressure was just so much. And I wanted, and it got to a point where it was just like, I can't continue to live like this. I want a better life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to actually be excited and happy to wake up in the morning. I want to be able to be like, you know what? I have a little bit of control of what I can in my life. I want to be able to be like, you know what? I work X amount of hours, which is more than enough to get what I need to pay my bills, to save, retirement, and all these other stuff. But I can still have a good quality of life. I can still see my friends. I can still do girls' night. I can still hang out with, you know, my significant other, and we can make time for each other. Like, the things that are truly important for me, I can make more time for them.
Yeah.
Because it never made sense to me how you are giving more than 50% of your time to your job, which is a means for a necessity and not so much of like what you actually love to do. But yet the rest of parts of your life that people will actually miss you when you're not there, will actually care about what's going on with you, you're not giving them the amount of time that they deserve and that they should have.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's fair. That's a very fair point. And you don't want to stretch yourself thin. You don't want to stretch yourself so thin where you break.
Nope.
Because ain't nobody gonna really help you with that. It's already too late.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put you first. What is it? You gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I'll never get over that scene.
Oh, when they turned that into a
I gotta put me first.
what was it on what's it called, a meme? They turned it into a meme. It was like, gotta put me first, Lucius.
Gotta put me first.
There were some phrases that, I mean,
look at you, Tomashi.
I loved her performance. My thing is, I just wish that certain performance that they gave her didn't try to typecast her as being like
that particular
type of character.
Well, I feel like it yeah. She plays the hell out. She plays the hell out of that particular role.
Yeah, she's very good. She's a very good actor. But the problem is, it's like, you know, Hollywood, they just be typecasting her.
They put you in a box and that's all you ever know.
Yep.
Some people, it makes sense. Like,
they just have that look about them where it's like, even if you try to transition, it's just not.
Or not even just the look. Like, you've seen them in try to experiment in other genres and it's like, it's not really hitting. No. Like, Beyonce as an actress, no.
Ooh. That was the most
unless it is a singing part or no. And she tried. You can tell she tried. And it was just like, it's not in you, boo.
I was just like,
it's not in you.
The scene where she was like confronting against
what was that movie?
The crazy. Was it the?
Was it Enough? No, Enough was J-Lo.
Yeah. What was it called? Something about stalker
Obsessed?
or I think it was Obsessed. Oh, was it?
Has to be.
I don't even know. I think it might have.
Either way,
all I know is
I was just like, it wasn't.
It was very cringy.
I was just like, that ain't it.
It was cringy.
That ain't it. I was just like, no.
It was very
no.
cringy.
I see where you were going there, but no. I feel like when it comes to like musicals, I can see because it's not too far fetched from what she does.
Yep.
But like beyond that, I was just like, I don't know.
But I will say though, the one thing that was kind of a musical, which was the Dreamgirls that she played in.
That's what I'm saying. Those types of movies.
She did well. It wasn't as cringy, but at the same time, there were moments where it was like,
yeah, you can see. So the movie that we're talking about is Obsessed.
Oh, yeah. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. It was the one with Idris Elba.
I was like, how you gonna do it just like that? Don't get get me wrong. I still would not love him any less, but it still was a very cringy performance.
It gave. I'm
wasn't
reading
the
from the
best.
script. That's what it gave, and I was just like, no.
Because the whole concept of the show, of the movie, was like, it was like the basic every other Lifetime situation. The husband gets into a situation, the girl is crazy, stalking him, then try to kill the whole family. Like it literally was a plot from Lifetime if I ever did see one. The only thing they didn't have is pushing the grandma down the stairs, but like, oh my god, and she magically recovers, and she's the only one that lived to be able to tell everyone that so and so is a crazy.
She's crazy.
And that she's the one that's trying to kill everybody. Like,
yeah, it was a lot. It wasn't giving what it was supposed to give.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like even with a really good acting coach,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll hit the mark. But then again, I could be proven wrong. I would want to be proven wrong because I do want her to excel.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she needs it, but hey, it's one more thing you can excel at. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
No.
But I feel like at that point with that movie specifically, I was like, no, this ain't it, girl. This ain't it. No. But nice try though. Another one that when she does certain movies, I'm just like, you can put her in a box. J-Lo.
Oh yeah.
I think the only movie where it's just like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, she was terrible, or like I could see her in rom-coms.
Mm-hmm.
Rom-coms are her thing.
Yep.
But the movie Enough.
It's so funny because the exact
I was
movie
like,
I had in my head.
you can do this.
That was
This what you can do.
Exact movie I had in my
You can
head.
do this.
Crazy.
If you're not in a rom-com, you can do this.
You literally took it out of my head. I was literally thinking the same title before you said it. I was like, that was the one performance I was like, yes.
This what you can do.
Standing ovation, yes.
All right, this
Yes.
is believable.
Yes.
There's I call it Enough 2.0. It's a movie that she has on Netflix right now.
Oh, Mother or something like that?
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to watch because I liked Enough, but my thing is like she's just been so problematic lately. That's just
she's been problematic in your eyes. You feel like nothing can redeem her.
She's been way too problematic. My thing is like when you weren't big and famous and you were just still trying to win, all these people that you're now talking about any type of way and crazy were the people that were supporting you. And as soon as now you feel like you reach a certain level of status, of fame, now it's just like, forget all those people. Oh, you don't know these people and this, that, and the third. And they're beneath you and less than.
I mean, she's always giving that vibe. To me, she's always giving that vibe. It's like, I'm going to climb to the top by any means necessary.
Oh, yeah. We saw that.
But like, listen, people still can't let go of the fact that you can still hear Ashanti's voice on I'm That was her song.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Ain't It Funny?
Oh, what about the other one with I Ain't Your Mama with
Oh, you can hear Meghan Trainor. I didn't realize that.
Still on it.
I
was like, wait a minute, that vocal in the background.
No, but here's the thing, right? It's not like, because it's supposed to be, right, as a songwriter, because this is how it was explained. This is how I ended up learning about it after, and it makes total sense. So as a songwriter, they do the performance. So it's like a demo tape almost. So they sing the song with the beat and the lyrics and all of that. And if they don't keep the record for themselves, then they'll shop the record around, and depending on which artist, the combination is, depending on the artist and their label and their management team, whatever the case may be, they'll buy the record and they'll keep it. Sometimes they'll go in, re-record it, and take the writer's vocals off. Mm-hmm. Other times they'll just leave it on there in the background, so you can still hear it. When I heard that I Ain't Your Mama, that J-Lo did, at first I didn't hear Meghan Trainor, but I knew it wasn't J-Lo. Like, whose voice is that? Because I just thought it was like one of her like backup like really experienced background singers.
That's what
which is what they always do.
But I was like, that voice just sounded way too familiar.
But then when I heard that Meghan wrote the song and she originally wrote it for herself, and then J-Lo picked it up, I was like, and she was like, "Oh, you can still hear my voice." And I was like, now I hear it. It's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song. It's catchy. It's catchy. I was like, all right, girl. So I ain't mad when they're like that. As long as they get their check, I ain't mad. So you can sing, so she can continue to sing. Ain't it funny till it ain't funny no more. But
like you said, there's only so few that's gonna be like Shaggy. It wasn't me. That's gonna age so well.
Yeah. But it's like we all
Still
know
relevant.
who, and like in that particular case, Ashanti was in the video. Her label, they kind of pushed for J-Lo to get that record anyway. So it was like, listen, as long as she got her writing credits, I don't think she's ever been impressed about it. I think as her fans were like, you did Ashanti wrong. I was like, I don't wear them checks clear.
She was like, well,
don't mess up a good thing that I got going on.
That's like Cisco being upset with thong being thrown
the thong song.
every single thing that they can think of.
At what point he was in commercials? Come on,
I
I ain't gonna be mad at it. You can be mad at it. You're like, I hate this song. Then that check shows up, and you're like,
ding, and direct deposit be hit. He's like, okay, do whatever you guys to do, baby. You ain't gonna find no fights from me.
But there are some artists when you do like a deep dive and you ask them like some of like their biggest. I noticed some biggest records. They hated. They hated. They hated it.
Yep.
They absolutely hated it. Who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was.
I thought it was a funny song. Till this day, you just put the beat out there. The lyrics are floating in my head. I don't even know the whole lyrics, but it'd be like that one part in my head.
Like I didn't realize who wrote Superstar. It was off Usher's Confessions album, which by the way was amazing.
It was the guy that did the Sister Act movie. He was the little boy that was in it.
Ryan Toby?
I can't think of his name. I think Toby is the last name. I can't remember if that's the first name.
He was in the group City High.
Yep. Ryan. He was the one that wrote the majority of the song and for the Confession and other songs that Usher sang too. I was like, wait a minute.
He's a really talented songwriter. Ryan Toby.
He was carrying the whole movie. What are you talking about?
Ryan Toby wrote Superstar, and I was like, one God, I love this very much.
Yeah.
It's literally my favorite song off that album.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, I knew Usher didn't write it, but I knew Jermaine Dupri didn't write it either. So I was like, who wrote the song? And then when I was like, it was Ryan Toby, I was like, that makes sense. But when I heard, I think he sang it, and I was like, it didn't hit the same. And I think that's the thing. You got to get a good combination.
He did a quick clip of it. He was like, oh, yeah, I wrote the song. Because what I saw a video where he was being interviewed. Because I was going through thing and I saw a clip of when he was being interviewed and he was talking about it, like how he wrote the song and how it came about that Usher even ended up picking it up or his label did.
Yep.
And he's saying like a quick clip or whatever, or a quick snippet of the song, and I was like, yeah, it didn't hit as much. Listen, despite Usher's just
weird
problematic situation and vibes, he does have a voice to just sing certain songs. Mm-hmm. It just works for him. He makes it work.
Everybody has their niche that they're good at. Those that sing, they sing it. Those that write, they write it. And if you can do both, great. If you can't, listen, you got to figure out your niche.
Yep.
You got to figure out your niche. Okay? Mm-hmm. Jessica Simpson did.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that crazy about her as a singer?
No.
But, as a shoe designer.
Woo! I love her shoes.
I will buy
her
shoes.
Heels. And I love the new ones that we having now, like with the little cushion inside. I was like, oh, finally.
Baby's so cute. Jessica.
Cute, good height, and they got a little cushion in there. And I was like, finally, it's functional. It's cute.
Jessica.
And I don't have to take my shoes off like halfway through the event because my feet is killing me.
I was like, girl, here's your niche.
Good time.
Here's your niche right there.
I love it.
All right, girl. I may not be able to name your songs, but I can point out your shoes. I was like,
both her and the husband not talented in the music at all.
Oh, her ex-husband Nick Lachey.
Oh, it's ex now.
Yeah. Oh, they've been split up for a while.
Okay, I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Well, so that's why you have me around so I can update you. Her current husband. Seriously. I think he's like a retired football player.
I'm just saying that ex-husband was always forever looking like he was secretly doing some hard drugs in the background, and he was trying to.
That's so hard. That's the vibe you got from him.
100%. 100%. He looked like he dabbled in that coke. 100%. He was just like trying to keep it on the low, but his eyes were saying, "I'm ready for that next fix."
You just saw his eyes were shifty.
Oh, it's not just his eyes, just like how he just talks about things, and his whole vibe was just
Are we talking about the same person? Are you talking about who I'm thinking about?
The bald one, light skin.
Okay, he's not bald.
Okay, you say so.
It's him. That's the ex-husband.
Oh,
I don't know who the hell you talking about.
You right.
She was like the bald one. I was like, he ain't
Who
bald.
am I thinking of then?
Yeah, figure out who you thinking of before you start throwing those wild claims.
Oh, Ashley Simpson. Sorry, my bad.
Who was she married to? She's married. She's with Evan Ross, Diana Ross's son. Who was she married to before that?
I think it's best we just don't discuss this any longer. Yeah, my mistake. Let's move on. All right. Read your pastors. Better things.
Or you and me pull clean Charlotte. Sorrows, prayers.
Yeah, he's like, sorrows, prayers. That's gonna be like my new thing.
Sorrows, prayers.
When you try to move on to the next subject,
every time he bursts out crying. Sorrows, prayers. Anyway.
That's gonna be the new transition. Like, oh, you want a filler? Sorrows, prayers.
I'm telling you, when she did that, it was like, oh, that is the perfect line for somebody who's not really in touch with their feelings like that. They don't feel and you got to tap on the back. Sorrows, prayers.
It's funny because like
that shit cracked me up.
Mary and Jocko, like that way if someone's breaking down, Mary's like, yeah, the other way. I'm gonna hit that dusty trail, get up and walk. Maria will be like, there. And I'm like, oh, the whole thing. We're just awkward people when it comes to emotions. I think Chrissy maybe. Nah, she's still awkward too. We're all just awkward when it comes to emotions. Like
you just don't know how to. Like I can understand.
It's awkward
because it's like I don't know how to receive it when other. It's like
the receive. I feel like it's the harder part
than the giving
for us than the giving. For us, we're like very much we should give this and the third. When now it's like shifted, it's like oh my goodness. You don't know the impact you've had on my life, and I'm like, oh, like I wish you just don't say that because I just feel
Can't
so.
You just buy me a drink and call it a day?
Yeah, you're like, oh my goodness, this is good friends. You know, I was like, that's what family does. You know, you try to like brush it off and like wait because it's like you're not trying to take credit. Which there's nothing wrong with that. Even in the Bible, it says there's nothing wrong when someone gives you a compliment or someone says something for you to take it, and then you later in private. Thank the Lord and said, Lord, only through you was this able to be done. Yeah. You did this work through me. Yeah. But it is very sometimes like, because the thing is like, sometimes you have like that conversation in your head of just like, you're not trying to be in a position where you're being, how do you say, arrogant, thinking as if you yourself is actually the one that did this. But at the same time,
you don't want to be like dismissive about it.
Exactly. Acknowledge it.
Acknowledge the great things that you see in me. Merci beaucoup.
Acknowledge it, but don't
feel like it's gassing you up.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of how like I am when like with it's a little odd where it's like that's kind of the reason why I am the way I am with guys. It's like I will almost never compliment them, and I got called out on it once. It was like you never compliment me. I was like, I compliment. Is more backhanded, Sophia.
Oh, you don't. You really don't. It's never a straight. Oh, that's not, no.
They'll tell me it's like, oh, you'll compliment the women like with no problem. You know, because you be gassing them up. But us, we're chopped liver. Like we should be grateful. I mean, when you put it like that,
be grateful. I graced you with my presence.
It's like if we show a little, I'm feeling myself. You're like, all right, simmer down. Simmer down. There. Prayers.
Sorrows. Prayers.
Yeah, but, it is what it is. You live and you learn. But, so, what do you want to leave with the people before we all head on out? Because I'm getting hungry.
Well, people, our viewers. I am so grateful that you guys have continued to listen to us, continue to be here.
You do realize that they don't see us, they only hear us.
Oh, okay. Yes. Anyways, continue to be here and, so grateful, very grateful that you continue to listen to us. And I also am, continue to support us throughout the future and all that good
I don't give a damn. Let me finish my speech.
I was on a roll and then you interrupted and I'm like, I'll pick up where I left off. I had it written down somewhere. Anyways, guys, thank you for checking in and tuning in again. We really appreciate it. The support and, continue to listen to us. And we're very grateful. And like I said, if any of the tips and tricks of things that we've discussed about helps improve the quality of your life at all, we're grateful to be of help.
And if you found us babbling just as entertaining, thank you. We accomplished my mission.
Fun, light, and flirty.
All right, because, I'm sure you just got off work or you're heading into work. So, well, sorrows, prayers. Until next time.
Bye.